The following audio excerpts are from client interviews conducted by a third-party interviewer about the experience of participating in psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy. Over a year after treatment ended, these clients described their varying experiences in their own words. We are deeply grateful for the generosity of these participants in being willing to be interviewed.
But I do believe that it's changed my ability to be present in my therapy sessions, which Dr. Golan can probably attest to, how I would come in and just be like on volume 10 out of 10 in intensity. And just, I mean, there was no opportunity for me to even process what I needed to process. And that's changed. Now I actually am able to listen and think through and reflect on it later and get, be all right with it. And I've noticed more and more that I'm able to just function in a better way. Mm-hmm. If that answers your question. Yeah. Especially in therapy, yes, I'm able to go into my therapy sessions with or without it. And it just seems to have I think it's allowed me to let my brain and my whatever you would call it change enough where I'm not relapsing back into my old patterns, my emotional patterns. Because I still get triggered. There's still things that go on, or triggers occur, obviously, for all of us, and they don't have the same effect on me now. And I don't know what else to attribute it to besides what I'm doing.
Right. But yeah,
I actually had very spiritual experiences with ketamine. Very all journeys, if you want to call it, and just that I heard this. It's tapped into a happy side of myself, the spiritual side of myself. It's allowed me to be okay with all those things that I've always been, but it can be frowned on in our society, and that was the thing I think I enjoyed the most about it, is when I would close my eyes and just be able to enjoy music better, see colors and designs, and think about where I'm at in the world and where I'm going in the world, and where everything just all kind of rolled into one. I've had times where something that would have normally seemed very obvious to me, that it hasn't, will just like all the dots will connect. And like, it's just like, it's sort of a benefit, I guess. And had some interesting, like, what seemed like flashbacks to me. And I know since we're dealing with mystical and everything, it won't sound crazy telling you guys, but I've actually thought that I've had some prior life connections, and I've had stuff just come into my head, and like, where's this stuff coming from?
Yeah.
Going back a long time, and I can't tell anybody because they think I was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was one of those kind of things like, I don't have to sit here and just stay quiet about it, which is I tend to do. I will bottle things up, as Dr. Golan knows. I have a tendency to do that, and then it blows out in PTSD style. So that's gotten much, much, much better. Yes, definitely have had the out-of-body experiences, even like that time in that place where I saw the angels. I was definitely, there was a disconnection of me, like, was I really in the room or not? I mean, and I still remember it. And I tend to be a bit controlling, and so I'm careful as much as I can be about not letting that happen too much, because it's a little scary for me. It's like totally, I'm not one of these people who would drop acid, and like I've heard the stories and go on some trip, and it's for 10 hours and they're totally out, they're seeing colors and things are climbing down the walls. I'm like, I don't like that kind of out of body experience. I thought of it's like, no. I like just the light, creative, spiritual, connect feeling. I get from ketamine. I think it's, at least for me, it's really been wonderful and life-changing since the beginning. The first time I ever did it, and to the continuing therapy. It's all positive for me. There's really been no negative. I'm so glad that it's available in a therapeutic way, because I didn't have it for a long time. And when Dr. Goldman offered it to me under the right, being properly monitored, I just was ready to jump on board, and I've had no regrets at all.
And I had years of therapy, and I was still really struggling. Long story short, I just wanted to feel better. I was at my pretty lowest level of depression, and I felt really hopeless. So I wanted, at that point, I had a couple of out-of-body experiences and pretty transformative experiences. And I wanted to delve into that further, and I wanted to understand more of what was going on in my mind, what was going on that maybe I couldn't remember, and what was making me feel this way. Yes, I feel like I have gotten clarity in many different ways. They were eye-opening. They were just pretty profound things that I didn't expect at all. I've had nothing but positive experiences, and I'm so grateful, because I'm in a completely different place, completely, than I was when Dr. Goldman first met me. I feel like I'm able to look at things in a much different way, in a more positive way. Just in regards to the ketamine, I'm able to have my life back again.
I wanted to do it because I was curious. The information that I had read and on the research, I felt like I might benefit from it, just because of my background and my upbringing and the things that I had tried before that weren't working for depression, anxiety, stress, those kinds of things. Dr. Goldman has always asked me to set my intention, so get your mindset in the right area. In my life, I've been a very surfacey kind of person, and it's like there's a real part of me, and then there's a false or a fake part of me. And so in order to be true to yourself and who you are, you have to dig down a little bit deeper, and you have to strip away the things that are getting, like you step on your own cape and you can't get out of your own way. And I was kind of like that, of not being able to get out of my own way. I guess I was desperate, a little desperate, and feeling like I had tried other things, and I just wanted to see if it would work. I was just something that was part of something that was much bigger, and it made me feel at least. It gave me a level of spirituality, or because I'm not really a religious person, it gave me the feeling of God and love. And Dr. Goldman's heard me say this about, I'm not really a religious person, but just the belief in God and the belief in a higher power, the belief that I'm part of something else. Sort of been, when I've been deep in the state of the infusion, I felt as though I'm watching things happen rather than being. I felt like I'm part of it, but I have no control over it. But I felt peace.
Mhm.
It's the. I won't say I had a near-death experience, but I felt what it could be like to be on the other side. Just where I mean, that's just my interpretation. My mind didn't try to go there; it just went there. I didn't set an intention to go to the other side. I just Um, but then long term, after the infusion, after the sprays, I can just tell you that my wife, I've known for 17 years, she's just seen a difference in me, and I've seen a difference in myself. Um, I mean, I still have my shortcomings and all, but I just feel like I'm calmer. I feel like I don't get tripped up by the things that used to make me it's helped me not to have a hair trigger.
Or-
Yeah, I'm a little bit more genuine, a little bit more what would you call it? Not genuine, but authentic. I don't want to just say the word rewired, but it kind of has given me a different paradigm or a different way of thinking. Um, did that make sense? While I'm in the session, I feel in a safe and secure place. And then the next day, or the day after, that Dr. Goldman and I meet, we're able to talk about the things that I spoke of during the session, or see how I felt afterwards. Um, I find the whole experience. If you took away the before meeting, or if you took away the after, you know, afterwards, it would not have the same experience. It needs to stick with you. What I'm saying is that what the ketamine has done for me is help lower the curtain, or push the curtain aside a little bit. Um, it gave me something, maybe because I didn't my brain couldn't produce the dopamine or whatever I needed, but I felt like I was a new and different person. In fact, you could if um, if I was to leave this earth and go to that level of spirituality that I'm in, where that white light is, where you're no longer skin and bones and flesh, and you're just a spirit. I have gone there, and I'm okay with that. And like, uh, I'm not afraid of that now. I We get really nailed down by the trappings of life, and all the things that are important. The food we eat, the car we drive, the home we live in, how we grew up, where we came from. None of that shit matters really from the ketamine. You lift yourself up from that. You pull yourself away from that, and it strips all of that away. So I have felt on a molecular level, on a cellular level, that there's peace if you let yourself go there, because that stuff that the ketamine is bringing out of me in my head, that's me still. That's still me. What the ketamine has done is help me realize it's okay. It's okay. Nothing, the world's not going to fall apart. Any one of these things, Jenga, if you pull out the things, it's not going to all tumble over like a tower, like you know, um, you know, a tower, or a house of cards. And if it does, no big deal. You know, you just have to. It's helped me to be more accepting and understanding of that when the shit hits the fan, it's not so bad. Um, the sprays were one thing, but when I went through the sessions, that's where I really felt like the rewiring. That's where I really felt like it wasn't the next day or the next day after that, but it was just going forward. I feel like I'm better.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't really think it would do anything, but I didn't have anything to lose. And that was enough for me. I didn't go in thinking it was going to be some saving grace. Both of my, I don't really know how personal I'm allowed to get in this. Both of my parents died when I was young. And it made that seem a lot less like about me and just luck of the draw. So it made everything seem less connected and less personal. And even when I was coming out of it, I was like, oh, that would be really upsetting to other people that nothing's connected and nothing has purpose. But to me, that was actually really helpful. A lot of the things that I want to deal with in therapy, I can't do because I dissociate without choice. And then ketamine makes it so I don't do that. And I feel like I get to heal a lot because I can think about the things I need to think about without going away. And been in therapy. I'm 33, so I've been in therapy for 23 years. And I've gotten more done in like 3 years than I have in the previous 20. Like I still can't explain what I saw or felt when I was like in some other universe high as a kite, and like the images that I saw, because it doesn't make sense. I could just be like, I felt like sand, but there was music, but like that doesn't make sense to anyone. But like I know what I saw, and also I know that I was really high and on drugs. But like at the end of the day, does it matter that I was really high and on drugs and felt like sand if, 14 months later, I can realize that I didn't cause cancer and disease as a child? Like, that doesn't really matter. And like I knew those things intellectually, but childhood trauma doesn't care what you know. If I'm in therapy and we're talking about big stuff, the second I get triggered, I just stop. And nothing anyone says matters. But with the ketamine, I can not get so triggered and not have such, like I know I still have PTSD and CPTSD, but like I don't have to give in to those reactions with it. And so I can actually do the therapy and hear what the therapists are saying. And like, I mean, I can still be a complete jerk and just be like, no, you're wrong, and I'm not listening to you, and I hate everything you're saying, and I'm done now. But like, it's not so much a gut reaction, and I don't spiral the same. I'm alive because of ketamine. I can pinpoint on a calendar 3 times that I would be dead 100%, because if I didn't have ketamine, there wouldn't have been another option. And I think that is ketamine and Dr. Goldman. They say it gives me like that 30-second pause because I'm able to have a feeling that's not stuck in trauma with the ketamine. And so I'm like, oh, I can think something else. And then I can realize that it is just trauma and it's not who I am. And that gives me such hope.
My intentions were hoping to relieve the anxiety that I feel on a daily basis with helping with my PTSD and the sexual assaults that I dealt with as a child, as well as the physical and verbal abuse, and learning to let that go alongside with all that anxiety.
Beforehand?
No. Of course I was a little anxious. Of course I was a little hesitant. I mean, I think those are natural feelings that we all experience when going into a new type of therapy that that helps you reflect within yourself and helps you acknowledge the fact that the majority of us are not okay, and it's okay to not be okay. So yeah, of course I was hesitant, and of course I was nervous. um, it's a new type of therapy. It's extremely effective and it's extremely positive, which it has been in my life. I can only speak about myself. The ketamine, it feels like it's putting together, I want to say, the neurons in my brain. It's helping me be more open with myself and honest with myself. It's helping me with my anxiety, just overall helping me face who I am, what I've been through, and being accepting of it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have, or I would be where I am today without it. I'm not afraid of my own mortality now. I'm understanding of my mortality, and I'm not afraid to to move on when that time arises. Like I said, I've had a couple of spiritual experiences, and a lot of it is just losing the ego within yourself and to really be accepting of the moment, because I am at a place in my life now where I live moment to moment. I don't live day to day. When my surroundings change, I am accepting of my surroundings. If I'm in a different room, I'm not thinking of anything else. I'm in that room. I'm in the here and now, as opposed to where I was, where my mind was constantly like a hamster in a wheel. And it was just constant. It was a constant battle of negative thoughts of my childhood and my past experiences. I couldn't get out of that. I was stuck. I was stuck with this PTSD. I was stuck with these thoughts. They never let me go. They never let me go to sleep. The nightmares were horrible. I can't even express to you the years and years and years of nightmares, of absolute ultra violent nightmares. And since treatment, I no longer have those ultraviolet nightmares. That's just one of the many things that this treatment is. I've benefited from this treatment. I'm okay and accepting of the next day, that the next day is coming. You know what I mean? And then I used to be afraid of the following day. I mean, the day to come. Yes. That was my main spiritual experience, the one I expressed. Um, the coming together of all our souls and how we are all one. Um, I think that truly was a pivotal point in my life and my acceptance of just everything around me and my feelings. Um, I had never experienced anything like that, but it brought me comfort to know that we're all one, and that my experience may have come in the shape of a hammerhead shark. Tribes and tribes and thousands and thousands of hammerhead sharks. Going up to the sky. I'm sitting on a houseboat in the Keys, and I'm just watching them, and they're just going around the moon into infinity. And the sense of comfort that I had, being able to let go of my ego, and being truly at one with my spirit. I mean, you said it, with my spirit.
Yeah.
I had the true experience and the true understanding that whatever your tribe is, we're all together as one, and we all go to the same place. And that brought me such comfort. It brought me such knowing and understanding that, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to learn every day how to be a better person, and how to show a more positive energy rather than a more negative energy, because that's how I was for 40 plus years. It's
Yeah.
it's truly an enlightening experience. And until you do it, you'll never know. You can sit back and guess what it would be like, but everyone is different and everyone has different experiences, and that's okay. The main thing about ketamine is letting go, which I feel is letting go of your ego. Because once you let go of your ego, you let go of yourself, your selfishness. And once you let go of your selfishness, you're able to go to the next spiritual level that is manifesting in anything that's in your mind, your personal mind. So everybody's different, but yet everyone's the same, if that makes sense. That would have never happened without the ketamine. That would have never come to me. That would have never helped me understand who I am as a person and who I am mentally, and how good I can be in the future. I was a very negative person. I was not spiritual whatsoever. And, today is a new day. It's a good day.